Thank you, Mr. President. Because I know that Hungarian citizens usually listen to these debates, I will start with some words in Hungarian. Az Unió az emberi méltóság tiszteletben tartása, a szabadság, a demokrácia, az egyenlőség, a jogállamiság, valamint az emberi jogok, ideértve a kisebbségekhez tartozó személyek jogait tiszteletben tartásának értékein alapul. These words, my friends, dear President, Prime Minister, are the words in our Article 2 of the Treaty on the European Union. The Union is founded upon the values of respect for human dignity, the rule of law, democracy, liberty, equality, fundamental rights, the rights of people coming from minorities. These words are not a bureaucratic invention, these words are not an imposition, these words are the choice of our member states. Hungary, in particular, not only signed these words, Hungary wrote these words with other member states. So the question for our debate here today is, do we take these words seriously or not? We reach a very important conclusion in this report, that the changes in Hungary have been systemic, that they have a general trend, and this general trend moves away from the values in Article 2. Let me make very clear what this is not about. Europe is a diverse place. It has republics and monarchies, federal and unitary states, unicameral and bicameral. All this is possible within compatibility with the values of democracy in the treaties. We not only respect this diversity, we cherish this diversity. But what concerns us is if these values are compatible, or if these changes are compatible or not with our values. These values, the European Parliament has to be here to defend, to protect and to respect, because Europe is not only a club of democracies, we are also a union of democracy. Thank you very much. Köszönöm szépen.
The Commission expressed concerns about the conformity of the Fourth Amendment to the Hungarian Fundamental Law, which was adopted on the 11th of March, both with European Union law and with the rule of law principle. I have raised these concerns directly and repeatedly with the Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, in my contacts with him and in formal letters sent to him. I have also worked closely, very closely indeed, with Secretary General Jagland of the Council of Europe. All these actions have given proof and evidence of the Commission action and priority given to our role as guardian of the treaties. These decisions are part of the determined effort of the Commission to ensure the full respect of European Union law by all Member States. The Commission has been following with great interest the work of the Parliament in the Tavares report as adopted by the LIBE Committee. I have asked from the beginning the Hungarian authorities to engage in a political dialogue with the European Parliament in order to address the recommendations of the resolution you will vote tomorrow. I think the presence among us today of Prime Minister Orban is precisely a way of manifesting its willingness to engage in such a dialogue with the Parliament.
I have no illusions concerning the vote and the outcome of the vote tomorrow. I know that the Socialists, the Liberals, the Greens will vote against Hungary. And I also am aware of the fact that Hungary's friends will stand up for Hungary. I know that my words will not really change anything to that state of affairs. We have a report before us today which is very negative about Hungary. The Hungarian government has worked on these issues and is now submitting a memorandum to the President of the European Parliament to resolve these issues. The report is very unfair vis-à-vis Hungary, very unfair vis-à-vis the people of Hungary. You're applying double standards in this report. There's no recognition of certain efforts that have been made, enormous efforts that have been deployed in Hungary in order to help modernize the country. This is simply forgotten, denied.
Esteemed members, this is not the first debate involving Hungary that's been held, and on many occasions Mr Verhofstadt has voiced his opinion that it's not right for Prime Ministers to take the floor here in the Parliament. And I would also like to point out that here, the country which you are talking about, we've got accusations being levelled against Hungary, and, you know, there's a lot of speakers for the other side of the case. But you know, even Stalin in the show trials gave more time to those who were being put in the dock for condemnation than has been the case in this proceeding.
Enough is enough. Mr. Szájer, you cannot compare this debate to Stalin's show trials. With the utmost respect for the level of emotion in this debate, that is unacceptable.
The Commission has been following with great interest the work in the different committees on the Tavares report, and the Commission has already asked the Hungarian authorities to engage in a political dialogue with the European Parliament in order to address the recommendations of any resolution the Parliament will vote tomorrow. And in the same way we will also follow how the report of the Venice Committee will be addressed. In the Tavares report there is one important element which I would like to underline, and this is the whole debate on how to best preserve and defend the rule of law in the European Union as a whole, now outside of the Hungarian case which we discuss today. It relates to the so-called Copenhagen dilemma: how to act when the rule of law is put in danger in a member state after this member state has joined the European Union. We believe that there are some existing initiatives which could help in this endeavour, but we know that we have to go a step further, as suggested also in the Tavares report. I assure you that the Commission is determined to ensure a proper and constructive follow-up of the decisions this House is going to present tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Let me draw your attention to a very important point in relation to the Jewish community. There are anti-Semitic groups in Hungary, and there are radical anti-Semitic groups in Hungary, and I oppose them. I am the protector of the Jewish community. The report which you are talking about is unfair, it is deeply offensive, and its author and those who will vote in favour of it are abusing their powers. They are applying double standards against my home country, and I'm not seeing any grounds to modify my opinion as expressed at the beginning of the debate. When a parliament adopts a resolution, it always does so on the basis of party politics. In other words, legitimately, I don't have the opportunity, nor do I have the right to talk about the legitimacy of the decision which will be taken tomorrow in relation to this resolution. But it is not unbiased. It is a strongly left-wing tinged report. And if we're talking about parliamentary resolutions, here we're talking about the accuser and the judge being one and the same. Those who are accusing us are going to vote in the majority in favour of a report which condemns us. So I do not have the opportunity to accept or adopt this resolution on behalf of Hungary. Now, people have been saying that the job of friends is to voice criticism of other friends, and there's a lot of truth in that, President. And if you were to voice your criticisms, I would thank you for that. But you're not voicing your criticisms in this report. You are making proposals. You're making proposals to the effect that Hungary should be placed under political tutelage, and I will never accept anyone wanting to place my country under political tutelage, and I do not accept this report. Thank you.
In 1956, when I was looking at the Hungarian situation, carrying out my research, people in Hungary said, we're being killed, we are falling, not just for Hungary but for Europe. And if we look at what's been happening. We need to look at where Europe fell down in the past when its institutions weren't able to discharge their responsibilities. I think the lesson today, the lesson we need to learn is that we need to shoulder our responsibilities for our citizens every day. There are no amendments that have been tabled to the key factual elements in the report. I'm very pleased about that. Secondly, Parliament doesn't want to arrogate new powers to itself here. It's true that the Parliament is not perfect. One of them could be the political rivalry between groups here and the idea of you keep quiet about my country, I'll keep quiet about yours. In this report, we are going to see how we can proceed. We've had the Copenhagen Committee. We can see how we can provide technical support in a completely independent, neutral and non-political way to allow our institutions to work here. I'd like to thank the citizens of Hungary, whether they agree with the report or not. Many people wrote to me. We responded to them. The replies were of a piece with the very moving and very fair letters which we received. There's a recognition that there are problems. We need to respect a member state as a member state, but we have a responsibility to the citizens of that state as well. We need to keep fighting for the rights of citizens of other countries as if they were ours. If there's no rights, there is no fatherland, there is no house, and we are trying to build a house here in the European Union, and one in which we can all live.